Sufi Islam, what you need to know. Sufism is mystical and ascetic form of Islam practiced by tens of millions of Muslims, but radical Islamists have taken to targeting Sufis in brutal attacks, such as the recent massacre in Egypt. A suspected Islamic State militant attack on a mosque in the Sinai Peninsula on Friday was the deadliest terror attack in Egyptian history, but the prospect of his targeting a mosque frequented by Sufis has raised the specter of further violence against a form of mystical Islam with deep roots in the Muslim world. Sufism is a mystical and ascetic Islam practiced by tens of millions of Muslims. Adherents of Sufism follow the 5 pillars of Islam just as other practicing Muslims. The most well-known tariqah in the Western world is the Mevlevi order, founded by the followers of the 13th century Persian poet and mystic Rumi after his death in the Turkish city of Konya. Dhikr is a central practice in Sufism, whereby adherents recite divine verses and intone the name of Allah. Dhikr practices vary among Sufi orders. Sheikh Esref Effendi, the spiritual head of the Germany-based Sufi center Ravnia, which is part of the Naqshbandi order, described Sufism for DW. The Sufis are Muslims and live Islam in perfection with body and soul. The body of Islam is Sharia, the law, and soul of Islam is Sufism, spirituality. For Sufis, Sharia is indispensable, because law provides order in life and Sufism provides for joy in life. Afghan Sufis of the Naqshbandi order performed at a mosque in Kabul. Sufism originated after the death of Muhammad in 632, but it did not develop into orders until the 12th century. The orders were formed around spiritual founders, who gained saint status and shrines built in their names. Sufism spread throughout the Muslim world, becoming a central component of many people's religious practice from Indonesia and South Asia to Africa and the Balkans. Sufi orders were sometimes close to the ruling powers such as the Ottoman Empire, helping their spread and influence. As it spread, it often adapted to and incorporated local beliefs and customs that made it popular, but would later become to be viewed by Islamic extremist groups as heretical. The 18th century saw the emergence of a new puritanical Islamic ideology and movement on the Arab Peninsula that would later give birth to violent extremist groups such as Al-Qaeda and IS. Wahhabism sought to purge Sunni Islam of accretions and innovations such as the widespread Sufi practice of venerating saints and visiting tombs and shrines. Salafist jihadists have repeatedly targeted Sufis, deeming them heretics. Earlier this year, an IS suicide bomber killed more than 70 people at a Sufi shrine in Pakistan. Read more: Pakistan shrine attack, no place for soft Islam in a hard country. While no group has claimed responsibility for Friday's attack on a mosque attended by Sufis in the Sinai Peninsula, it bore all the signs of IS. For centuries, most of the Muslim world has accepted Sufism, a stance that has been supported by leading mainstream Sunni Muslim scholars and centers of learning. Some text goes here. The current disputes in the Middle East are not really between Sufism and extremism, but between Wahhabism and everything else, said Winter, adding that mainstream Sunni Islam advocates tolerance and peace.